Sunday night, so that means it's time for another shot of Mark's Whiskey.
All right, just a couple of quick news bits before we get to this week's show. First off, we are sad to report that Michael Arms has officially left the show on nothing but good terms. He just had some jamming opportunities in Arizona that he just could not pass up. So we wish you all but the best, Michael, and please keep us posted on what you might come out with, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So the other piece of news is now that it's just me and Jeff, we kind of realized that we've been letting our love of nerd culture bleed into the show more and more, so we figured we'd embrace that. And our new name is going to be Nerds Drink Whiskey. You can go to the nerdsdrinkwhiskey.com website now if you want a quick preview of what it's going to be like. But the website is still under construction, so keep going to markswhiskey.com until then. But you're going to see us start to refer to the show as the Nerds Drink Whiskey show as opposed to the Mark's Whiskey podcast. So Nerds Drink Whiskey is a new name. Please let us know in the comments whether you like it, dislike it, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, maybe how much you hate it. We don't care. It's still going to be the name Nerds Drink Whiskey. So anyways, Nerds Unite, Nerds Drink Up. Cheers.
All right, welcome to another shot of Mark's Whiskey, the Mark's Whiskey podcast. This week, again, we have Mr. Christian Doyle of Journeyquest and Gamers. As always, the smartest man in the room, Mr. Jeff Morris.
It's not that hard.
Huh?
I can't even read.
What? I resemble that statement. And I am. My name is Mark. And today we're going to be doing Tullamore Scotch, Irish whiskey, and this is one you brought. So
So I went to our local liquor store to pick up a bottle, and I found out they were closed, which made me very sad. So I ran over to Safeway because I was in a hurry, and this was the only thing that I was willing to spend money on. It was, I think, $25. So it was cheap, but not too cheap, and everything else looked overpriced. So, as you can see, there's not much left. I bought it a couple weeks ago. Now I'm curious what you guys think. So, actually, Christian mentioned that
I'm actually this is one of my favorites, and I like Irish whiskeys a lot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is definitely in my top two. Excuse me. The reason being is a friend of mine, Scott C. Brown, is a big whiskey fan. He was in Gamers with us, and he's the bard.
okay.
And he plays Strong Likeable in Journeyquest.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a play down here at Harlequin, and it was an Irish play, and they had a bottle of this backstage every day, apparently, and would drink it to completion. And so I was introduced to it through him when I did another Irish play, and this was in the dressing room.
Well, it is a decent, cheap Irish. And by the way, dew is not like the stuff that forms during the morning when it's cold out. It's actually the initials of the person whose recipe this is.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well,
let's do the dew.
Let's do the. I was going to say let's not insult the whiskey by saying But all right, let's do the dew.
You do know that Mountain Dew was invented as a whiskey mixer, right?
I do know that.
So, did you guys know that?
I mean, I guess I could have a little more just to be sure.
I always take 2 sips before I say anything.
For a $25 price tag, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And as you notice, we actually didn't even bother with the ice cubes on this episode. Certain whiskeys just kind of demand you not even bother with having it on the rocks. Certain whiskeys demand you have it neat. So
if we were going to go by true Irish tradition, we would just drink it straight out of the bottle, wouldn't we?
Well, you know, they those Irish, they do like their whiskey. I've heard.
I have also heard.
Yes. Now, are you part Irish?
I am Irish.
You are Irish.
I am
Okay,
Irish.
Yeah.
Even my stage name is Irish. So.
Catholic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Recovering.
Aren't all Catholics recovering?
That's the only state of Catholicism.
I think most Catholics are.
Nope, they're either militant or recovering.
Oh, there we go.
Those are, or, you know, there's no happy medium, at least amongst the Anglo-Saxon American population when it comes to Catholicism. Either you're one of us or you ain't. Whereas, in other countries, it's the primary religion, so it's, I think, probably a little bit more laid back.
I'm recovering Pentecostal, and worse, Foursquare Pentecostal.
My goodness.
Yes. So I grew up amongst some quite insane.
You grew up thinking facial hair was evil, and look at you now.
I know. I remember growing up. My mother once gave me all kinds of crap because I bought the new album by Stryper.
Oh,
that was considered evil.
Renegade.
However, that was not met with near as much of a backlash as when I brought in the most evil. I got caught sneaking in the most evil cassette into our home. An artist known as Bryan Adams.
Oh, Canadian and evil.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So that's
stepping on
how,
2 nails at once.
That's how growing up Foursquare Pentecostal was for me. Bryan Adams and Stryper were. that was like I might as well have brought in.
Yeah, from that you're just like a hop, skip, and a jump to Dungeons and Dragons, and then at that point you've sold your soul.
I have. It might as well have been the pre-Primus band. You know about the where the guitar player for Primus came from, right?
No. Where did he come from?
Oh, he came from like
the depths of hell, according to your mother.
No. Like he came from like a full-on evil satanic pentagram, like
Satanist band.
A little bit more like basically something that was
a small Wiccan community in the Midwest.
Right. So it was like between. I can't remember. I'm actually blanking on the name. I'll put it in the text down below. But it was like between. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that one.
Between it was like a cross between like Venom and Slayer. It was like somewhere around that era, and then he went from that to Primus. Possessed. There we go. Possessed. The band Possessed.
My brother was in a band called Sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious. It's probably the same band. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, Tullamore do. We're all thumbs up on this.
I'm a big thumbs up on this, partly because it always starts a conversation.
Finishes it if you drink it long enough.
Mm-hmm. Good whiskey usually does.
It's an Irish whiskey, which means I can drink almost half a bottle before I don't remember anything, and still hold a conversation. Although not myself upright. Mm-hmm. Know thyself. Very important.
All right. So, before we go, we're here to push the Kickstarter for Journeyquest Season 3.
Yeah, contribute to that.
So before we go, and by the way, we're putting a nice short URL down here, markswhiskey.com/JQ. Just go to that and it'll send you right to the Kickstarter. Unless you've got a shorter URL.
Oh, you can just go to #RenewJQ.
RenewJQ, okay.
RenewJQ, yeah.
Okay.
We thought it was rhymey and therefore good.
Yes, good. So, tell us what clip we're going to be airing right now.
Oh, okay. Gosh, that's a great thing for you to have me set up on the fly.
Because I was going to do last week I was going to do episode 1, and then you corrected and said we're going to do the other one.
Well, that's just my favorite. You don't have to show that one. If you want to show something from episode 1, go ahead.
Are we going to do episode 1?
No, I think we should put the part up where they actually why it's named Journeyquest.
Why it's named Journeyquest,
yes.
And that's Ren talking to the orc band.
Right. So
kind of setting up really the whole series.
So,
and that is episode 1, isn't it?
That is episode 1, and they ask what really happens, and that sets up what really happens. So that's probably Ren talking to the orcs about what they saw.
So right after the elixir takes effect?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as you've seen, we've all. Well, I don't know if have you seen Journeyquest?
That's one of the.
I've seen Journeyquest.
That's the one show that I'm in that I will watch.
You actually watch. Okay. So we've all seen Journeyquest. Here's another clip from Journeyquest to close out the show, and make sure and donate to their
RenewJQ.com.
renewjq.com and
Go there.
And just they can actually donate $1 and be in the credits, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you donate to the
$1.
Kickstarter and that Kickstarter gets funded, your name is now in the credits.
$1.
That's all it
$1
takes
to be in the credits of a really awesome show. So, anyways, here's a clip from Journeyquest, and we will. Oh wait, are you gonna do a what's
Sure.
WTF? All right, we're gonna come back after the clip, and he's gonna do another WTF.
Skull? Oh, what is the word? Scald! Scald! Scald.
Karid Paz God Skaldaka.
Ek! Chugats!
Jock Skull Good
Chigat Kaga.
Pascal.
Meknal! Chigat Chaga! Nordlos Bordlos Demia!
God Good Kari God Odds also protects our bards, keeping the humies and pucks from killing them.
Hi there. Hi. Yes, I am a bard. Yes, and I am researching an epic.
Grillneck Skull Splitter. 2 L's. Yart Flay's children. Just like it sounds.
Can you tell me what happened here?
Will this go in the epic?
It might, yeah.
Well, it all started with the wizard's duel.
Wizard's duel. That's good stuff. Now, how'd that happen?
Well, the elf maid, she was all into our shaman, making eyes at him and giving him the signals, you know. And yet stoutly did he resist her whorish advances.
What?
And the wizard, he got all incensed. They challenged him right there. To the death did he bellow. Yet does it echo in mine ears.
Perf did that? The yellow robe?
His clan's honor questioned, the shaman accepted the challenge. Then the sky darkened with the might of their arcane skill.
Nope, they didn't.
But Kern, that's our shaman, he cast him down with a volley of lightning. And then the elf maid was all like, "Take me now, you green-skinned love stallion." And then, shamed by defeat, the wizard bellowed, "Die! In the wrathful flames of my wrath!" Yeah. And then he sent a vast army of murder elementals, and they kept coming on in vast waves of murderness. And we beat them all with our fists. And they disappear when they die, by the way, which is why you can't see them.
It's bad luck to lie to a bard, you know.
Your party went that way, towards the river, near as I can tell.
What actually happened?
Oh, there, now, hold still, don't resist. There's a good lad. Let the encouragement sink in.
Is he gone?
Bad idea. Come on. Let's go save our wizard.
All right, we're back now. If you have not seen the first clip of his WTF segment, you really need to look it up. It's
Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. Yes. We made him watch it because he had to understand why it was. Yeah.
I'm not even the same person as I was.
If you go to our YouTube channel and look for the clip that says "Is your whiskey radioactive?" and just watch that,
Spoiler: it is.
Yes, your whiskey is radioactive, and he explains
So-
why. So, anyways, here's what's
Right.
hold on.
Superpowers?
So this is What's that?
So if I drink enough of it, will I get superpowers?
You can only.
You
try.
won't know if you don't.
So, anyways,
trying.
here is WTF.
What the fermentation? We're going to Indiana, where there is a giant distillery that makes all sorts of whiskey that you'd never know would come from there, because they don't actually sell any of it to consumers. The only people they sell it to are other distributors. So there's all these whiskeys out there that are made by this one plant, and then they get sold and branded as somebody else's. So what'll often happen is there'll be some distillery, they need some aged whiskey. They don't have any because it takes time to age whiskey. So they'll buy some barrels of this stuff, call it their own, and sell it to you. So, for example, there's like probably about 50 of these on the shelves that you can find. The ones we've probably heard of are Bullet Rye.
Oh, yeah.
So their Bullet makes their own regular, but the rye comes from Indiana, from a plant called Midwest Grain Products. So, yeah, the most generic random name ever.
That's a really good name for a grain products company.
MGP is this plant down in Indiana. And they make all sorts of stuff. Like, we've had George Dickel Rye also comes from there. Rebel Yell Rye comes from there. So
they just make rye whiskey.
That's their main product, but they do make other stuff. They also do age their own and make some of high-end whiskey, which they sell to specific customers who then sell it as high-end whiskey. But it's not made by whoever you think it's made by. So they can't actually. So when information on a bottle, it'll say distilled by or bottled by or that kind of stuff. If it just says bottled by, that doesn't mean that they made it. That just means they are the ones that put it in the bottle. You want to see distilled by if you actually want it from the distillery that you're buying it from. Otherwise, you're not really sure where it's coming from. It could be from this plant in Indiana that makes thousands of gallons of this stuff all the time.
At the same time, they probably know what they're doing.
Right.
And it's all the same recipe. It's just how long they age it in a bottle.
I'm not sure. I think they have a couple different recipes. But it's essentially like the most mass-produced you can get.
Yeah, it's just like large batch whiskey that's been separated out and sold to different distributors.
Exactly. There's a bunch of little small places that buy this stuff and say, oh yeah, I've got this great little whiskey that you might want to try, only it's actually from this giant vat in Indiana.
And now, just to be clear, just like the Bullet regular is made by Bullet, the Rebel Yell is made by Rebel Yell, distilled and aged by Rebel Yell Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky, but the rye is what's made by
MGP.
MGP. So yeah.
So some of the bottles might actually say they're made, but most of them will just say bottled by whoever you've got, and not say who they're distilled by. So.
Cool. All right. Well, I actually don't think we have an after the bottle for this week, do we? No more empty bottles.
Nope.
What I'm seeing. Yeah. All right.
We can finish off that one.
That'd be a little close, I think.
Yeah. So I think
we'll do that one next week.
Next week we have a very interesting taste test because we hear very, very, very confirmed rumors, as confirmed as these rumors could be, without the original source saying, yeah, this is true. We hear that Trader Joe's straight bourbon is the exact same recipe, a slight difference, but made by the same distillery as Buffalo Trace. So we're going to do a blind taste test next week and see if we can even taste the difference between the two. But supposedly these are the same whiskey made by the same company, and they just changed the flavoring just a slight bit. So next week, this is what we're going to be doing. It's a blind taste test. See you next week.